Well, good morning, everyone. It is 6 a.m. on this Monday morning. Time to rise and shine. Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is getting us ready for the day ahead and telling us about another warm and sunny day across the inland Northwest. Good morning, Thomas.
Yeah, good morning, Channing, and good morning to all of you on this Monday. It is already bright and sunny across the inland Northwest. A little bit of that cloud cover that passed through yesterday afternoon and evening that now departing very quickly this morning, and that early sunshine already giving us an extra degree to work with. It was 55 for the low, and we're already up to 56, even with that low sun angle. So that bodes well to warm us up pretty quickly. There was still just the last of the stray showers earlier on this morning between about 4 and 5 a.m., but that now is departing the area quickly. So it ends up mostly sunny all day long, and yet another afternoon in the 80s.
Well, if you are heading out on your morning commute today, drivers should prepare for some long delays on the South Hill. This morning, our Brandon T. Jones is joining us live near 29th and Ray with a construction update because, Brandon, if anybody who's driven on 29th within the last couple of weeks knows just how much construction is going on. So what do drivers need to know this morning?
Well, what they need to know, Channing, is that there is expected to have long delays here on 29th today. It's still fairly slow as the morning kind of gets underway, but we're expecting that around like 7 or 8 for it to really start to pick up. You can actually see some of the city crews out here getting their preparations in store already as well. But ultimately, yeah, it's gonna be a busy day here on 29th. We saw a couple weeks ago that it was really busy, a couple Fridays ago, that is. So ultimately today, the city crews will be paving between Ray and Ivory Streets. As that grind and overlay work continues, a section of Regal Street from 29th to 34th will also be closed today. So here's a couple city recommendations to get around the construction. The first option encourages drivers to use Rockwood Boulevard, Southeast Boulevard, 37th and 57th Ave going east and west when possible. The second alternative going north and south will be Southeast Boulevard, Grand Boulevard, and Ray Street. So the 29th construction is beginning this morning, but we also want to run just another quick note by you. Drivers tomorrow morning should prepare for closures on the Cheney-Spokane Road. That will begin just south of the retail area at US 195 and continues to Cedar Road. That project will focus on supporting water capacity improvements in the area. So again, it still is fairly early here this morning, but if you get out a little bit earlier than what you're used to, that should help kind of get around some of this road construction that we're seeing right now here in Spokane. But for now, reporting live here on the South Hill, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
This morning, Spokane police are still investigating a reported shooting that happened just outside of Northtown Mall on Sunday night. Police say that they saw cars hit by bullets and even bullet casings on the ground. Spokane police say several people were involved, but thankfully no one was hurt. The mall was not evacuated. Now, we are making calls this morning to gather more information. We'll continue updating you as we learn more. We're also tracking a growing wildfire in Chelan County this morning. The Pioneer Fire is about 300 acres right now, burning about 30 miles northwest of Chelan. This morning, there is a level 3 evacuation order in place for the Rex Creek area and a level 1 evacuation for the north shore of Lake Chelan between Canoe Creek and Meadow Creek. Now, according to Washington DNR, ground and air crews have been working on the fire and more resources arrived yesterday. At 6:04, we have new information in the disappearance of a missing 2-year-old girl, her father, and his fiance. Pullman police and the FBI now believe that they fled to Mexico. No one has seen any of them since last Wednesday. The FBI is helping Pullman police track down Aaron Ong after he failed to return his daughter to her mother. Police thought that he was originally going to Montana to buy camping gear, but now believe all three are likely in Mexico. Police say that they've been traveling in a black 2014 Cadillac XTS with this Idaho license plate that you see on your screen right now. They think Ong's disappearance is connected to the disappearance of his fiancee and WSU graduate Nadia Cole. Nadia went missing after walking out of SeaTac Airport last week. So far, police have not said where the group could be headed in Mexico, but if you have any information, please contact police at the number there on your screen. in case you missed it, thousands of people gathered in downtown Spokane on Saturday for the 32nd annual Spokane Pride Parade. More than 100 groups participated this year, and more than 200 vendors and performers took over Riverfront Park for the festival as well.
We need to show people that we don't have to hide, that we are a community and that we're safe to be here in Spokane because there's so many of us. We're not alone.
And you might have even spotted some of our very own at the parade as well. KREM 2's Let's Talk group walked in the parade once again this year, but the festivities are not over yet. There are several Pride celebrations going on throughout Spokane for the entire month of June. Some of those events include the Rainbow Run, a tie-dye party, Pride in Perry, and more. For more information on these events, you can head to our website, krem.com. Now, June, of course, is all about celebrating LGBTQ+ inclusion in every community. So this morning, photojournalist Aiden Brown takes us to the IndigiQ Round Dance that took place in Spokane last week.
I've heard it said, you know, when we dance for the people that can't dance or be here. You know, it's just like something that's very special.
But today's festivities have a much deeper significance.
I remember when there was nothing going on like this, and then it was just, you know, just a gathering here and there. Now there's gatherings and Two-Spirit powwows all over.
Stephen Barrios is a Two-Spirit elder from the Spokane Blackfeet Nation and a co-founder of the Montana Two-Spirit Society.
It's a term that was coined back in like late 80s or early 90s, I remember, up in Canada.
The term Two-Spirit is a cultural term and identity that has come to describe Indigenous peoples who do not identify with the traditional gender binary, but rather feel connected to aspects of both the masculine and feminine spirit.
We did have roles in our tribes, various roles. We were mediators, we were name givers, we were caretakers of our elderly and of our youth.
Despite having these roles,
I remember when there was no spaces or safe spaces for us as Two-Spirit people.
but organizations like the Montana Two-Spirit Society and elders like Barrios have dedicated decades to changing that. For over 20 years, Barrios and the Montana Two-Spirit Society have organized one of the largest and only Two-Spirit gatherings in the Northwest.
The elders in the Two-Spirit community, we need to step up and help our younger ones. They're the ones that are going to be taking over. And it's so nice to see the youth recognize the elders, because they do recognize that we're the ones that stomp the grass down before them so they'd have a good path to walk.
So today, under a hot summer sky along the banks of the Spokane River, a path continues to be made for the younger generations to lead the way forward.
And it's wonderful to see the Two-Spirit people finally being able to take their rightful place in the sacred circle. Until we're brought completely into that sacred circle, that circle will never be complete.
Aiden Brown, KREM 2 News.
It's 6:08 right now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. Governor Brett Little signed an executive order on Friday called the Promoting Families and Protecting Children Act. The order directs the Department of Health and Welfare to do a number of things, including building stronger partnerships to better serve moms and babies, working to remove barriers for foster families, better protecting those in the child welfare system, and increasing the number of foster families in Idaho. The order also promotes early intervention for at-risk youth and families. Well, two Cougs made a name for themselves in the National NCAA Championships over the weekend. The two hurtlers had strong performances in the 100-meter hurdles. Maribel Casiero finished as the national silver medalist, and teammate Michaela DeMello grabbed the 7th place spot. Well, if you're looking for a way to cool off this summer, Silverwood's newest water park expansion, Emerald Forest, opened its doors this weekend. Emerald Forest features a new water ride with dueling water coasters, new water slides, and splash pads for the kiddos out there. It also includes a large food pavilion as well. That's a look at your morning rush.
Take it outside just past 6 o'clock on what is a perfectly sunny morning already in Spokane. Just saw a little bit of cloud cover off to the east on my commute to work this morning, which was much earlier on, but those clouds have now departed beyond the eastern horizon here. So that's where we stand temperature-wise, well into the 50s for most of the inland Northwest. Actually, a quite pleasant morning out here, and it just warms up fast thanks to that sunshine, which is just about to come around the corner here. Expecting another day in the 80s for this afternoon. I think the key this week ahead is going to be a pair of windier days. That for Tuesday and Friday. Make sure to point them out on the 7-day forecast. So those will be decently windy days, and we'll show you the reason why we'll have these temperature swings through the course of this week.